I'm going to tell a story about me and my brother when we lived in Chincoteague Island, Virginia, and we had some adventures there. It was a real fun place to be there when you're a kid. So I was watching videos. They have a roundup on Chincoteague Island. They bring the horses to Chincoteague to sell the baby horses, and it was always fun to see the horses come across, and they take them to the fairgrounds to have auction on the babies. So I was watching that a while back, and one of them ponies, babies, sold for $15,000. I thought, oh my gosh, $15,000? Oh, people got some money. But anyway, it made me think about, when I lived there and stuff like that. But the fairgrounds wasn't too far from our house, and so we could go there if it wasn't open, because it was open to walk in, but there wasn't nothing going on. So we'd go down there and jump on the merry-go-round and just mess around. There wasn't nobody there, and they had to swing there. If anybody watched Misty, the movie, they had this like a double swing, and my brother and I, we would get on that swing and try to spin over. We never did. We weren't powerful enough, but we got it up pretty high. That was so fun. But we'd play on the merry-go-round, different horses, get on it. So there were some teenage boys there, and on that Misty movie, there's a stallion. It's black. They had that stallion, and there was a racetrack in the back of the fairgrounds. So these teenage boys, they had it, and because we walked back there, we like play on the corrals and stuff. So we was watching them get that horse ready, and this boy got on, with a saddle on that horse. Well, they was getting ready to hit his rump, but what happened, one of them boys, other boys, they took a pine cone, left his tail up, and then smacked his tail. And boy, did that horse take off real fast. But, so them same boys, one time we went down there at the fairgrounds to play, we could see them in some crowds in the back, and they had a couple horses, and they weren't too small of ponies. They were kind of like the bigger ponies. This old mare they had, and they were wild horses, so they wanted to ride them to buck. So they put them in the corral, and one of them get on the horse and just hang on to the mane, and they open that corral door up and let that horse out, and it would buck. Them boys, they were older than us, and they were having a big old time. So this girl, I don't know who she was, but she was retarded, and I don't think I ever seen her. I have seen retarded people there before, but I never did see her. So they said to her, "Will you be a bucking horse so we can ride your back?" And she acted like, yeah. And I think she was about 17, 18. So they put her in the corral, and she was acting like she liked it, like she was a horse. And so one of them boys would be on her back, and she'd come out of the crowd bucking. So they would take their turn on that girl, but we left. We didn't like it at all, because, she wasn't right in the mind. And later we heard that she was going to be a horse and swim the channel. That's what we heard. So we went on home, and our parents wasn't home. And so we heard a knock on the door, and there was a cop that come up and wanted to talk to my brother Tommy. And he put Tommy in the car, the cop car. And I went outside and just stood there watching. And that cop, I guess, I couldn't really hear what he asked Tommy, but Tommy was really scared. And he started crying. I guess he thought he was going to get taken to jail, and I did too. But we didn't know why, we didn't know. But what happened, somebody called on them boys about that girl. And they figured maybe Tommy was one of them. He was spotted, being the boy. I was right there, but the cop never did ask me nothing. But he let Tommy go. And boy, was he relieved like a man. But that was one of our big adventures, to go down to the fairgrounds and just play around on the stuff when nobody's there. And check out the corrals and stuff like that. But I always tried to pet one of them baby horses when they were in corrals. And I'd be there when they auctioned it off. At that time, I think they was wanting about $75 to $100 for them baby horses. And I always wished I had the money to raise my hand up. But I know they wouldn't let some little kid, get a horse. But anyway, I was probably about 9 or 10, about then. But we had some adventures, and I just want to tell you some of them about that. Them boys, they were rowdy, but I guess they got caught too. And Tommy got let go. So, thanks for listening, and I'll tell you another adventure later on. Bye.